Hey guys, Foxitor here. Today I want to go over the Humiliation Master calling card. I already talked about the Snag Attack calling card. I did a completely different video about that, so I left it in the description down below. So, let's talk about these challenges. First, the King is dead. For this challenge you will have to earn 150 Kingslayer medals. And for a Kingslayer medal, you will have to kill the best player on the enemy team. Now, I don't really have a strategy for this just happens on its own. And I think it will happen on its own for you guys too. So, moving on to the Heartbreaker challenge, you will have to get 25 bus kill medals. And for a bus kill medal, you kill an enemy to stop their kill streak. Now, when is a bus kill a bus kill? A bus kill is a bus kill when an enemy is only one kill away from their score streak. So I won't recommend playing modes like Safeguard because it's really hard to get kill streaks in Safeguard. I think it's easier to play modes like Domination or Kill Confirmed, where streaks are easier to get, and this will happen on its own. So moving on to From the Grave, you'll have to earn 25 Afterlife medals, and for an Afterlife medal you'll have to kill an enemy after your died. So how do you do this? You need to drop an explosive, and after you died the enemy needs to die of that explosive. And I think this is easiest done with Semtexes. You don't have to cook them and they won't explode in your hand, so I think Semtexes are easiest. I think the easiest way is just to stick an enemy with a Semtex and make sure he sees you, he kills you, and then he dies of your Semtex. I think this is easier than doing it with frags, because frags will roll and frags you have to cook, and Semtexes are just way easier. So for the class setup for the challenge, I would double up on the Semtexes because it's easier to have two Semtexes. And run Gung Ho so you can run while holding the Semtex. So next, the Blunt Trauma challenge. You will have to earn 25 Nosebreaker medals. And for a Nosebreaker medal, you'll have to kill enemies with a gun butt, so like the back of your gun. So a good tactic for this is to first damage the enemy with one or two of your shots. This will make them weak and you will have to hit them only once with your gun butt instead of hitting them twice without damaging them first, and so it will be really easy. The time to kill will be really fast, just shoot, hit, and it's just a really fast time to kill and it's very easily done. So next, the Unforgiving challenge. You will have to earn 25 revenge kill medals. You will have to kill the enemy who killed you. So this will happen on its own, but if you are having trouble with this, just watch the kill cam and see where the enemy was and where the enemy was heading to, and head to the same place and just kill the enemy, and this won't be that hard of a challenge. But the next challenge is a little bit harder, the Sticky Bomber challenge. You will have to earn 25 stick medals and you will have to stick enemies with your Semtex. So for the class setup for this challenge, you will have to double up on the Semtex, or you don't have to double up, but it's easier to double up on the Semtexes. Because sticking an enemy twice, like the same enemy with two Semtexes, will count as 2 stick medals, so 2 medals to this challenge. So doubling up on the Semtexes, I would take 2 stuns, because stunning an enemy before sticking him is just way easier, because it makes him immobile and it's just way easier. And Gung Ho so you can run while throwing. And this challenge is just, you have to dedicate yourself to the challenge. Don't care about your KD, just go for those sticks and it will be over really soon. So for the Backfire challenge, you will have to get 25 Backfire medals. So you'll have to kill an enemy with their own weapon. And I noticed that this challenge took me longer than it really sounded. I mean, 25 Backfire medals is not a lot, but sometimes just doesn't registrate, I think. But just kill an enemy, pick up that weapon and play with that weapon till you die. I don't know if you can kill an enemy twice with their gun and it will count as 2 Backfire medals. I don't know that, but just pick up that weapon and play with it till you die, and those Backfire medals will be over pretty soon. I don't think hack the game modes are good for this challenge, so I just played Team Deathmatch. You will die a little less than you would die in say Domination or Safeguard. So I think Team Deathmatch is a very good game mode for this. So for the Focus challenge, you will have to kill the enemy who stunned you, and you will have to do that 5 times. So this doesn't count if you got stunned by the heat wave, and this doesn't count if you're running tag mask. I mean, that would be very easy. So I think the Brecci is a very good weapon if you're trying to go for this challenge, because you don't even have to aim with the Brecci in the first place. So if someone stuns you like from the front, just spray with your Brecci and you will get the kill very easy. But if you're like stunned in the back, I don't think you're gonna get that kill anyway. Good idea too is run the gravity spikes. If you run the gravity spikes and you see the enemy who stunned you, just use your spikes and you will kill the enemy. It's just very easy. So the next challenge is Arc Nemesis. Get 5 kills on your Nemesis in a single game 5 times. So I think long game modes are very good for this, like Safeguard, because it almost guarantees you to kill your Nemesis 5 times. I mean, in Team Deathmatch it may be questionable, but in long game modes like Safeguard, if you play the full 4 rounds, it will be pretty easy to kill your Nemesis 5 times. So then we have the Gun Fishing calling card. You will have to earn 5 depth charge medals. And you have to kill an enemy who is in the water with an explosive. So I think C4s are easiest for this. Frags you will have to cook, and they really go really slow underwater. C4s you can just drop in the water in high traffic areas, and the alarm will go when someone's nearby that C4. But it's even easier to use your gravity spikes underwater, because if you use your gravity spikes underwater, it will count as a depth charge medal. So this challenge is maybe not as hard as it sounded. So let's move on to the Knuckle Duster challenge, and this was the last challenge I had to do when I was going for the Humiliation Master calling card. You will have to get 50 kills with your fist, and I first tried to do this in Cole, but I noticed it didn't really go well. So I tried hardcore team deathmatch, and you might maybe die often, but it will go much quicker than just doing this in core game modes. Flanking is a very important strategy. You want to get behind the enemies, because if the enemy can just see you up front, he will kill you, and there's no way you will get to him with your fists, because the time to kill in hardcore is just so quick. So for the class setup, you want to take the stealth perks, Ghost, Blast Suppressor and Dead Silence. So enemies, especially in hardcore, enemies like to run awareness so they can hear you, and you want to have Dead Silence to counter that. I think Sixth Sense and Tracker are pretty neat too. Like knowing where an enemy is can be very good, and especially in hardcore. So these were all my tips on the Humiliation Master calling card. The previous video was on the new patch notes and the supply of weapons, and if you have any idea for me for a next video, please leave it in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.